Your past mistakes shouldn't be a source of shame, but a powerful tool to guide others. Especially in the world of investing. Your mistakes can become valuable lessons, lalo na dun pa lang sa mga taong nagsisimula pa lang. Hey, this is Kuya Jay, and you're listening to the Pera and Purpose Podcast, a show about money and meaning. My aim is for you to use money as a tool to live a meaningful life. And bago tayo magsimula, i-share nyo muna ninyo ito sa inyong KKK, ang inyong kaibigan, kamag-anak, kapat kaway, kabusina, kasismisan. At isa nyo pang K, yung kinakarga nyo ngayon. So kung manunod kayo nito sa YouTube, I'm recording this habang bit-bit ko ang aking anak, si Cesar Miguel. And ganito talagang buhay. It's a new season of my life. So it's a new format ng podcast para makapag-adjust ako sa buhay tatay. Kasi ibang-iba na talaga ngayon, guys. So ngayon, I'm doing a podcast habang nagpapatulog ng bata kasi I really feel na I need to do this episode. And medyo namimiss ko na rin ang podcast for a little while na. And in my recent talk, nitong I think that was 2 weeks ago, I had a talk sa isang property developer na shinare ko yung aking mga financial losses sa una kong condo investment. And pinakita ko rin doon how these mistakes provided valuable insights sa akin. Lalo na doon sa mga participants doon sa event na yon. And I think it's also the same thing that I've been doing in the past para sa podcast na most of the things that I'm sharing are talagang mga mistakes. And I think we learn more on the mistakes na inanalyze natin more than the successes na ating na-experience. And itong mga personal stories ko na to, not only resonates well, but it also provides some practical guidance to avoid the similar pitfalls. It's important to not let your hard-earned lessons go to waste. So sharing your experiences can free you from the weight of past mistakes and light the way for others. Kaya sa episode na to, we will deep dive on how you can turn your mess into your message. So umpisahan natin to. And sa experience ko in coaching people, there are those na nagiging successful na after they had an unfortunate financial mistake. Let's say mga nakaahon sa utang. And I encourage them na i-share nila yung kanilang experiences. Pero may mga tao pa rin na ayaw na talaga nila. I mean, for me, it's a problem kasi nga many of these people view na yung past failures nila has some shame and guilt na rin. Kaya they decide na just hide away from them. And ang daming mga nami-miss out na opportunity to really help others. Kasi for me, itong mga ganitong experiences, it's like a sign that will lead you ultimately to your purpose. Kaya nga yung mga, ang pag-analyze ng yung past mistakes is one of the shape na diniscuss ko dun sa Financial Why na episode. Which is very important dahil ito yung magbibigay talaga sa'yo ng realization kung bakit mo na-experience yung isang bagay na yon. And when we look at history, mayroong mga tao na nag-fail na hindi lang isa, dalawa, tatlo, or 5 beses. There's this person who failed 10,000 times. Kung alam mo tong story niya, ito yung story ni Thomas Edison who said na he didn't fail 10,000 times. He found 10,000 ways for his idea to not work. Isipin mo kung hindi shinare ni Edison yun, na 10,000 plus siya nag-fail. By the way, yung iba nagsabi 1,000, yung iba nagsabi 10,000, pero it doesn't matter. Kasi ang mahalaga doon is yung message niya na it's okay to fail. Hindi mo dapat siyang ikahiya. And I think there are some factors na nag-play around doon sa ganong klase ng thinking. I think number one is yung fear of judgment. Itong mga gantong klase ng thinking, like yung pagiging takot sa isip ng ibang tao, actually prevents you from reaching your full potential, in my opinion. Kasi I've experienced itong fear of judgment na to, and kung hindi ko siya na-overcome, then wala siguro akong podcast right now. And I wouldn't even have the courage to tell other people kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa akin when it comes to my investments and other mistakes in the past. Second is yung societal pressure. I think marami pa ring mga tao na they decide na to keep quiet and not share yung kanilang failures kasi nga nakikita nila na mas maraming nag-share ng kanilang success when they view Instagram. Parang these people are actually living a glamorous life and parang napaka-perfect and walang failures. Kaya it would also somewhat pressure them na wag na lang i-share. And merong research na pinublish din ang Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, and they found that social media increases pressure to present an idealized version of oneself. Similar dun sa sinasabi ko kanina. Kaya they just decide na wag na lang mag-share ng kanilang mga mistakes. Kasi hindi naman yun yung normal na nangyayari, right? Hindi yun yung lumalabas sa social media. And number 3 is yung failure perception. Yung author ng book na Grit, si Carol Dweck, has this research sa Stanford University na nagsabi na adopting a growth mindset significantly changes how individuals perceive failure. Unfortunately, yung mga tao na mayroong mga fixed mindset, yung opposite ng growth mindset, they see failure as a dead end and has a negative label around it. So they really feel that failure is a bad experience. But for people who have a growth mindset, failure is actually a way to learn new things. Sharing your failures doesn't immediately mean that it's a bad thing. Ito lang, no? When it comes to failures as well, gusto ko rin idagdag na failure is actually an event. It is not a person. And I think one of the things kung bakit society is a little bit reluctant in sharing their failures is because they usually attach failures to the person. And when I realized about this concept or thought about failure, mas hinanap ko na siya palagi. Like parang if whenever I speak to people na nag-start ng mga businesses or any new ideas na tinatry nila, they say na yung failure was actually a way for them to develop their business further. Part talaga siya ng success. And hindi siya yung opposite. Okay? So if you're not failing, then it means you're actually not trying. And by not failing and not trying, you're not really succeeding in life. Kaya nga, alam mo, magandang i-share itong mga ganitong usapan. And yung mga failures natin, it's a great way to help us develop yung bagay na binibuild natin. Kung ano man yung purpose mo sa buhay. Kasi kung hindi mo i-share yung story mo, like ilang beses ka na nag-fail, then paano ka matutulungan ng mga tao para ayusin or i-fine-tune yung isang bagay na you're working on right now? Diba? So, ganun lang siya. Kaya, again, it boils down to being open in sharing your miseries in life. Meron pa isang narinig na quote, somewhat relevant dito, na if joy is shared, it is multiplied. But when pain is shared, it is divided. Ibig sabihin, if you're always communicating about yung successes and failures mo, nasi-share mo sa ibang tao yung happiness. And if it's pain naman, yung mga stress na na-experience mo, nadi-divide yung bigat niya. Hindi mo siya kinikerry by yourself. And I think it's really one of the good reasons bakit kailangan mong makipag-communicate when it comes to your failures. So I think ang pinaka-solution lang talaga dito is to embrace your failures and share them as learning experiences. It doesn't have to be seen as a dead end. Again, babalik ako dun sa growth mindset because that is one important trait of any successful individual. I haven't seen a person who has succeeded in life na merong fixed mindset. So, ano ba yung pwede natin gawin dito? So, the first one is to reflect on your failures muna. Kumbaga, sarili mo muna, right? And studies from the American Psychological Association show that reflecting on past failures enhances your future performance. So what I was doing before is meron akong notebook, basic na notebook lang. And dilista ko doon yung mga failures ko. And inisip ko bakit kaya ako nag-fail. Diba? And although ang isang bagay na dapat ka lang maging cautious is hindi ka dapat mag-dwell dun sa why. Kasi ang magiging negative naman niya na impact is baka kakaisip mo kung bakit ka nag-fail, mas lalong maging masama yung pakiramdam mo. Right? Or mas lalo ka maging down sa buhay. Kaya when you write those things down, you have to be objective and not be too emotional about why you think your idea has failed. Okay? So that's number one. Pangalawa is to share your story. And there are different ways on how you can share your story sa ibang tao. Probably, umpisa is you share it with the people you trust sa iyong circle. Friends, family members, or anyone na alam mo na mapagkakatiwalaan mo na bigyan ng ganitong klase ng information. If you're not yet comfortable in sharing it, diba? Pangalawa is to share it with people na you think has experienced the same problem as yours. Yung, kumbaga, napagdaanan mo na and then i-share mo siya sa mga tao na you think may ganun din pinagdadaanan. Paano malalaman yun? Probably you can go to social media groups, Facebook groups, or mga Reddit na mga subgroups who are doing the things that you've done in the past na nag-fail ka and then eventually you've succeeded, or pwedeng hindi ka man nag-succeed pero you learned a lesson. And you can use this experience to help others in that group. And right now naman, pwede ka na mag-post anonymously. If you are uncomfortable if sharing your name out there pero you still want to help others with your experience. Kaya those are some of the things that you can do sa social media para makapag-share ng iyong lesson sa ibang tao. And there are also some organizations na will need your help. Siguro if sa akin, sa personal finance, mostly sa mga personal finance na organizations, dun ako nakikipag-participate kasi nga dun appropriate yung aking experience. And I know na yung tinutulungan nila probably have also experienced the same problems that I've experienced in the past. And then, I would also suggest na pag medyo sanay ka na or manhid ka na sa mga sasabihin na ibang tao pagdating sa pag-share mo ng iyong failures, kasi meron talaga yan. Merong magsasabi sa'yo, magdi-DM sa'yo niya na ano yung gawin yan, hindi ginagawa ng tunay na lalaki yan. Or kung ano pang mga negative feedback from people that care about you, quote-unquote. Diba? Kasi ayaw nilang mapahiya ka by sharing your mistakes. Pero you need to think of something bigger than yourself. Kaya mo siya ginagawa. Okay? You're not sharing it kasi nga nakakahiya siya. You're sharing it because you want to help others. That has to be your mindset. So pag sanay ka na i-share ang iyong stories, then you can probably create itong siguro medyo higher level na to, no? Na doing it. Like have a page or have a group na you can discuss those failures or similar failures and eventually build a personal brand around it. Kung gusto mo talaga siyang i-pursue, like really helping people out. Kasi sa akin yung pagkakamali ko sa finances, I realized na hindi siya yung bagay na dadaan lang eh. When I saw or I reflected on my experiences, I realized na yun na talaga yung purpose ko eh. Na I have to be better sa pag-handle ng finances ko so I can also help myself and help more people. Hindi lang nag-end dun sa pagkakaroon ng mga investment mistakes. And I really feel na binigay itong mga gantong failures na to sa atin para mag-solve ng mas malaking problema sa mundo. And eventually, as I progressed sa aking buhay after nung experience ko 7 years ago nung yan na-scam ako, it has given me the benefits na rin eventually. Like, nung nag-talk ako, one good example there is yung na-build ko na brand around the failures I've had in the past. There's actually actually turned out to be one of my sources of income. So, doon sa event na yon, I was paid like almost the entire income that I was earning when I was new sa UAE. Bakit? Kasi very few lang talaga yung gumagawa nag-share ng mga ganitong klaseng experiences. And I think it's an opportunity for you as well na kung gusto mong magkaroon ng something good out of the bad experiences na nangyari sa inyo in the past, then why not make money out of it, 'di ba? I mean, it's not the end goal, pero if natutulog siya. Pero if nandun ka na sa sitwasyon na yun and you're also helping others, then why not really build something around it? It can be a personal brand and then it can be a business as well. Kaya nga mapapansin mo, no, yung mga speakers na hindi lang speakers but also entrepreneurs or people na mayroong malaking influence. Most of the things that they share are their failures. Kasi talagang malalaman mo na yung mga tao na may malaking success sa buhay also had the biggest failures in life. And you'll be amazed how these guys were able to turn their life around by simply sharing their failures sa ibang tao. Kaya what I'm saying here is you really have to maximize that opportunity for you na makatulong sa ibang tao, and at the same time if talagang something na you wanna pursue it, make money out of it. It can be a side hustle. Diba? Anong side hustle mo? Wala, nag-share lang ako ng failures. Hindi, diba? You're paying and the people pay you for that. So, nakakatawa. Very few people are really doing it. Kaya nga, pag mas konti kayo, wala kang masyadong kalaban and you can raise your prices pagdating sa gantong klase ng business when you are already doing a speaking gig. That's something na hindi ko naisip before dahil all I wanted was just to share yung mga natutunan ko sa aking mga pagkakamali. And ito na, ganun na siya. Kaya right now, I'm really focusing dun sa coaching and financial wellness. Kasi nga, I've also experienced or learned from other people na yung mga na-encounter ko in the past, until now, nangyayari pa rin. And they have very few resources and few people that they can trust who can guide them out of their misery. So gawin mo rin yun. Find those people, 1 or 2 people muna, and solve their problems with your personal experience. So, quick recap lang habang karga ko tong aking anak. Today, we've talked about why your mess is your message and why you have to embrace failures, share your experiences, and why you can use them as learning tools for yourself and others. We also talked about yung personal stories of failures and successes na rin, and the benefits of sharing failures and practical tips for turning failures into profits. Diba? Pwede talaga. And ang bottom line lang for this episode is by sharing our failures, we contribute to a culture of growth and learning, helping others navigate similar challenges. And siguro if there's one Bible verse na very relevant for this, it's Proverbs 24 verse 16. Sabi doon, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when the calamity strikes. And ito ang sinasabi ng verse na to is that it emphasizes resilience and the importance of rising after failure, aligning with the message of using our mess as powerful messages to guide others. Yun. So that wraps our episode for today. But before I let you go, I hope you can listen to the episodes of Pera and Purpose Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and other podcast streaming platforms. And if you'd like to have a coaching session with me, message nyo lang ako sa aking LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, or visit the website www.jadriantolentino.com. Again, ito si Kuya Jay, kasama si Cesar Miguel. Tulog na siya ngayon. Telling you to prosper with a purpose. See you sa next episode. Bye-bye!